Welcome to Bluegrass Brooklyn, our podcast all about the music we love, straight from the Bluegrass borough of Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to this Festival Alert edition of Bluegrass Brooklyn, where we like to let you know about festivals and events and camps that are coming up that you may not have heard about, and we think you should. This edition focuses on the Augusta Heritage Center's Cajun, Creole, and Classic Country Week in 2026. The Augusta Heritage Center in Elkins, West Virginia, has an annual event that's been running for quite a while. It's a series of week-long camps. And the Summer 26 program kicks off with the Cajun, Creole, and Classic Country Week that starts on July 6th, runs through July 10th. The co-organizer of that event, Blake Miller, joins us here to tell us about the event, give us an inside peek into what's going to happen, some history about Cajun music and the musicians who will be appearing. So we hope you enjoy this alert. Please remember, follow us at Bluegrass Brooklyn, Brooklyn spelled BKLYN. You can visit us, bluegrassbrooklyn.com. Drop a line, mike@bluegrassbrooklyn.com. If you have any ideas, suggestions, just want to say hi, I promise we will respond. All right, let's get to the interview. Okay, so here we are with Blake Miller, co-organizer of the Cajun, Creole, and Classic Country Week down at the Augusta Center. And we're going to talk about all that. But first of all, Blake, thank you so much for taking time and joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
For those who may not know, Blake is one of the top-tier accordionists down in Southwest Louisiana, and with Amelia Beery organizes the Cajun, Creole, and Classic Country Week. So let's start here, Blake. Can you give us the 5-minute version of your musical origin story?
I was born in a town so small they called it Iota, Louisiana. My grandfather, his name is Larry Miller. He started making accordions right before I was born, and he made accordions my whole life, and I grew up infatuated by the accordion. I was playing accordion as probably before I could walk. And I like to say I never really had a chance in life because I just grew up around accordions and always wanted to play the accordion or play music in general. I guess I seriously got interested in learning to play the accordion at probably around 9 years old. Mm-hmm. I guess I played my first gig. I was probably 12 or 13 maybe, and been playing ever since. Started playing fiddle, guitar, eventually learned bass too, and played them in many different bands over the years.
How is it you and Amelia wound up in the position to organize a Cajun, Creole, and Classic Country focused week at the Augusta Heritage Center?
I ask myself that question every day, Mike. I don't know what I did right to end up here, but here we are. Yeah, and I should say that we are specifically in charge of the Cajun and Creole portion of it. And then a lady named Jenny Hawker is in charge of the Classic Country part of it. She started the Classic Country Week at Augusta through her involvement with Cajun Week, because she was married to Tracy Schwartz, who was very instrumental in getting the Cajun Week going at Augusta back in the day with his good buddy Dewey Bofa. Mm-hmm. At the time in the 80s. I grew up going to Augusta. My grandpa and my grandma were going to Augusta since I was a kid, and they saw I had an interest in music and thought I could handle the classes at some point, and so they took me up there. I've missed a handful of years since, but I've been going pretty much every year, first as a student, then as a staff musician, then as an instructor, and now as an organizer.
What a great evolution. Let's talk about the week a little bit. The Cajun, Creole, and Classic Country Week at the Augusta Heritage Center, which is in downtown Elkins, West Virginia, is from July 6th through July 10th. But I understand there's something brand new about this year's Heritage Weeks.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Augusta is a place where it's a week-long camp. We have classes, we have dances every night. It's a lot of fun. And for years, forever, it's been taking place on this community college in Elkins, West Virginia. And this year will be the first year that Augusta is splitting from the college. So,
Uh-huh.
like, totally. They, some point a few years ago, became their own entity separate from the college, but still operated on the college campus. And now they've come off the college campus into downtown Elkins, which is going to be a lot of fun because the college was great. I had so many great times at the college on the porch. They had this giant old mansion called Halliehurst, and we would jam all night on the porch of Halliehurst in a beautiful dance pavilion tucked away and up on the hillside in the trees. So many great memories there. But it's time for Augusta to be separate from that. I am very excited about it. I see nothing but really good things about this because the first thing that I think people are kind of excited about is it's flat. So much flatter.
Yeah.
West Virginia is a very mountainous place, but Elkins downtown is flat, as opposed to the college, which there was no flat space in the college. Anywhere you put a ball down, it would roll downhill.
Mhm.
The other thing, speaking of walking, is you're not going to have to walk as far. Everything will be a lot closer together. There's going to be a lot more parking for people who do want to drive around, but the hotels that are downtown are within easy walking distance of everything that you might want to do
Uh-huh.
associated with Augusta.
Well, speaking for the over 70 set, you know,
Speaking for the under 40 set,
as well, yeah, dispensing with the climbing up and down mountainsides to get to classes, that sounds like a major upgrade. Now, is it all indoors or there's some outdoor play or how does it work?
going to set up a tent in the parking lot across from the Heritage Center and build a dance floor and a stage, and we're going to do the dances there.
So I want to make sure the listeners who may not be all that familiar with Cajun music understand. If you go to like one of Blake's concerts and they're well on their way on stage, you're not going to see too many people sitting around listening. There may be some, but 90% of the people are going to be out on the dance floor dancing. It's very cool. It's a lot of fun. And
Hopefully.
yeah, right. When they're going to get up and dance, they're going to be telling you why not.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's definitely dance music, and having a great dance floor is a lot of fun. So we've talked about this major upgrade that the Augusta Center is taking, and that's very exciting. But what are you looking forward to in terms of programming?
I am very excited to have Peter Schwartz there.
Uh-huh.
I love Peter's playing. Of all the people that I've ever heard play Cajun music, I think Peter comes the closest to sounding like Dewey playing the fiddle. I mean, it helps that he has Dewey's fiddle, so that, that does help. But his style is handed down to him the old-fashioned way from Dewey. And playing with him is a joy. He's such a great singer. He's such a great person, and his vibe, his aura is just it's outstanding. We're going to pair him, hopefully, a lot with Kevin Wimmer.
So let me jump in for a second, Blake, because I want to make sure our listeners have an appreciation of the role the Schwartz family played in Dewey Balfour's life and the Cajun music in general.
Okay, yeah. Tracy Schwartz was a member of a band called the New Lost City Ramblers. If you don't know who those people are, you should definitely look them up. They were hugely instrumental in promoting folk music of all kinds during the folk revival of the 60s. And I don't really know how exactly Tracy got into Cajun music and knowing about it, but somehow he met Dewey Beaufort. He started playing Cajun music and he learned the accordion as well. And they would play Cajun songs at the New Lost City Ramblers shows, and help promote this music and spread it because they were the ones who were able to go to all these giant folk festivals and really started opening the doors for people like Dewey to come up and bring the music from home to all these different places. They became buds, and Tracy had his own band called the Tracy Schwartz Cajun Trio, and they had at least one big hit on the radio down here called Let the Meatball Roll. And yeah, it's a great song. People still play it. It can't be overstated, the impact that Tracy had on Cajun music and the culture down here in Louisiana. Along with Dewey, he really helped bridge this gap between dude who played on his back porch after driving the school bus to dude who was on the stage in front of thousands of people getting standing ovations all over the world,
Yeah.
He really helped bridge that gap. Eventually, his son, Peter Schwartz, got the very first scholarship put out by the Cajun French Music Association. So Peter moved to Basile for a summer and then learned to play fiddle from Dewey and continued to play with him his whole life. Eventually, Peter was an early member of Steve Riley and the Mambo Playboys, and he had a giant impact on the sound of that band as well, providing the harmony and the harmony know-how, as well as songwriting and arrangements and the knowledge that really served to provide the sound that that band was known for.
So Peter will be there. That's very exciting. What else has got you looking forward to the week?
Peter and Kevin playing together, it's going to be off the charts. If you like twin fiddle music, this is going to be a lot of fun for you because there's going to be so much twin fiddling because we got Kevin Wimmer. I've had the chance to know and play with so many great fiddlers around the world. And I do believe that all of them would agree with me in saying that Kevin Wimmer is probably the best fiddler out there.
Yeah.
And so we got him, myself, Peter, and Kelly Jones.
Yep.
It's going to be harmony fiddle mayhem.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Which is my favorite thing in the world. So this is what happens when you put me in charge.
Yeah, we get fiddle mayhem. That's what we get. All right. Now I'm looking forward to and excited about that. So Mike shows up at the Cajun Creole and Classic Country Heritage Week after the check-in day and all that. It's Monday morning, I guess. Time to start the day. What's a day look like for the attendee?
Well, you're going to be signed up for classes, and so you'll go to your first class, which could be accordion or fiddle, whatever you choose. We do have many great accordion players. Chris Miller, Jesse Leger, Jimmy Bro, and me all be teaching accordion as well.
Mm-hmm.
You'll take your first class in the morning. Maybe you'll come to the coffee talk with me and Jesse Leger. Me and Jesse are going to start every morning with a combination music/history class.
Yeah.
Where we talk about the people who made the songs, maybe some stories of hanging out with them, because Jesse was around all these great people and has some really great stories about some of these guys, and knowing where the songs come from, and we'll learn the songs or we'll at least play around with them.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that class. I think that's going to be really fun. And we'll just drink coffee, hang out, and play tunes and talk for an hour. Or if you want to buckle down, start really hammering on your accordion or fiddle or guitar, you can do that. And there'll be, I believe, 2 class sessions and then a lunch break. We'll all gather for lunch. You can eat there. You can do your own thing. There's many restaurants in town. And then there'll be another round of classes in the afternoon, plus some extra classes. We call them mini classes that you can sign up for too. And then there's supper again. And then there'll be a concert on Wednesday night, I believe. And then there's going to be a gumbo parade.
Gumbo parade?
Yeah, because there's also a cooking class. There's so much going on. I can't even keep up with it all myself. There's a cooking class that's done by Michelle and Greg Brown. Michelle is the daughter of Sherry Fruget, who co-founded with her husband and still runs and cooks at a D.I.'s Cajun restaurant in Timamu, Louisiana, and Basile, Louisiana, between Basile and Iota. They've both been coming the past 4 years or so, I want to say, maybe a little more. And they're going to be cooking the gumbo someplace downtown near where we are, but a little bit removed. We're going to have a gumbo night at the dance for the whole town. And so they're going to parade and to bring the gumbo from their cooking kitchen to the dance. They're going to parade through the town on the street, and we're going to play music, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a dance and a gumbo on Thursday night, I believe. Then it's going to be jamming until the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
There's going to be a few spots like the Tiger Hotel lobby is going to be open for jams, and there's a brewery downtown also that'll be open for jams. They're excited to have some music in there, and a few other spots too that we'll be able to take over Elkins downtown and turn it into a Cajun country party.
That sounds like a ton of fun. Now, the festival's coming up pretty quick. People still can sign up?
People still can sign up. There is a cap on enrollment, and I do believe it is approaching the cap. But as far as I know, there are still some slots available. So I would encourage you to rush out and sign up as quickly as you can. if you want to come. Also, we're a very open people. As Cajun Creole people, we're very open, very hospitable. We are sort of known for that.
Yep.
And that's a vibe that we're trying to provide for this week too. It's very much family, community oriented. It's about gathering, getting together, and shrugging off the miseries of the world through music and dance and food.
What
So
better
if you're
way?
into that, come on. We need all the help we can get to do it.
Music bringing people together is the best thing.
And that's what we're all about.
Absolutely. I want to make sure the listeners are also aware that there's a whole component of all this that has to do with the culture and the language of Southwest Louisiana, and promoting and preserving and expanding people's awareness of that is also an important part of all this. And I can also confirm that, having been at a couple of these events where I felt quite welcome and quite included, and I am from the Deep South, but the Deep South of Brooklyn. So, there's that connection. But otherwise, what's some guy from Brooklyn, New York, who wanders down to Eunice, Louisiana, doing down there? But many people might be very surprised by exactly how welcoming and how inclusive it actually is. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about your projects before we go. What is the saying that there's like 100 musicians and 1,000 bands in Louisiana?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it goes.
So let's talk about the top 2 or 3 bands you are in and would like to share with our listeners.
With my wife, Amelia, who is co-organizing the Augusta Heritage Week with me, we together have a band called the Old Fashioned Aces, where we, like the name might suggest, we play very old-fashioned Cajun music, often in trio setting, or we do like to play with a full band as well for dances, but it's very much a passion project. It's old style music. And then I have a band called the Revelers, which does mostly original music, but it's all in the vein of Louisiana dance centric music. So we try to cover a lot of different grounds, a lot of different genres we blend together in our songwriting and the covers we choose to do. That's a little more progressive. People might hear it and say, well, that's about as old fashioned as anything else. But to me, it's progressive. And then I have a band I play with Jordan Thibodeau and Le Rodaya, which is a more rock and roll version of Cajun music.
So let's assume some of our listeners are just not that familiar with Cajun music. Can you suggest a couple of songs or bands or albums or something that they ought to listen to just to get a quick education?
Sure. Well, I mean, there's the pioneers, there's the masters, like the Balfour Brothers, Nathan Abshire, or Belton Richard, or Aldous Roger. Those guys are sort of the basis for most Cajun music these days.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want something a little more modern, you can look up, Horace Trahan and the Austin Blues. It's a old style trio Cajun music record. It's phenomenal. If I get on a desert island with only 5 albums, that one's definitely in it. In the Steve Riley and Mama Playboy stuff, let's see, check out an album called Friday at Last. There's also, if you can find it, there's a guy named Wayne Toops, who's probably the most popular Cajun musician around Lafayette, Louisiana, in Louisiana in general. He made a record, and he's very much known for blending kind of Southern rock, soul, into Cajun music and Zydeco, all in the Cajun music. His band is called Zadi Cajun, but he made a record that's really straight ahead Cajun music. It's phenomenal. It's called Reflections of the Past, Wayne Toops.
That sounds like a good starter kit for those of us who want to get quickly up to speed so we get down to the Cajun Creole Classic Country Week at Augusta Heritage Center. We're well prepared. All right, Blake, thank you so much for taking time today and for giving us these insights into the upcoming week and into your musical community and experience. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
And now you've heard all about the Cajun Creole and Classic Country Week, and you know a bit more about the Augusta Heritage Center, which is well worth learning more about. There's a whole series of additional week-long camps that they will be holding this summer. Please go check out their website and head on down to Cajun Creole and Classic Country Week and bring your dancing shoes. Okay, please remember to follow us at Bluegrass Brooklyn, Brooklyn spelled BKLYN. visit bluegrassbrooklyn.com. Drop a line, mike@bluegrassbrooklyn.com. And if you are looking for jams in Uptown Manhattan, Bronx, Riverdale, New Jersey, and increasingly around the world, visit bluegrassjamsnearme.com. Okay, until next time, we look forward to seeing you around the jam circle.